Yo, what's going on? It's another episode of the motherfucking BeU podcast. Back at it again. Back at it again. But guess what? Guess who's back? Guess who is back on the mic with your boy? He's down there at the
Yes, the one
bottom.
and only, man. Mr. Lovely Day, what's up? Also known as Lavelle,
Man.
that's my government name.
Yeah,
Yo, what's up, guys? Been busy studying, saving the world, trying to be a
that's
better
right.
version of myself each and every
That's
day.
that's right.
Uh, what you guys been up to?
Man, it's good to have you back, brother. Man, I'm glad you're on the mic today. Today we gonna have a nice little interview, man. You
What?
know,
I heard you got Killmonger in this bitch.
we do, man. He's on.
Look at me, got jokes, but I look like one too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. We got the Instagram phenom, Mr. Richard.
Yo, what up? Richard
What?
TV in the cut, nigga. What you want to do, nigga? Richard
That's
TV.
Richard.
All of my ops be scared, you hurt?
I love y'all cats from the UK, man. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm very good. How are you?
Man, you see how he switches back up real quick? That's why I like.
Yeah, man, I got to get my dictionary out so I can speak proper English now. God dang,
I
British
know, man.
cats in here.
He might get on us, man. Like that shit ain't right.
Nah, it's cool, man. I'm sure you guys are what's the word? Now I'm forgetting my
Educated.
educated. I was trying to think of an even more difficult word, but it just slipped my mind.
Might be like, I am very sure you guys can articulate your thoughts.
Articulate, that was the word.
Yeah.
See? I need a dictionary for you guys.
My man Richard, thank you for joining us on the BU podcast, man. Really, really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. Already 50K followers on your IG. As I was
round of applause.
round of
Thank
applause
you
for
very much.
that.
I hit 50K yesterday, actually, so I'm actually very happy about that.
Beautiful,
Yes,
beautiful.
all
Man.
of the
Thank you for the
viewers,
support, everyone.
all his
Oh.
supporters, send him $1 so he can make his life a little bit better. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah,
Merry
yeah.
Christmas to Richard.
Hey, shit,
Literally.
it ain't nothing but $1. But yeah, man, the main reason me and Bill wanted to get Richard on the cast today is because his Instagram basically mainly consists of these comical satires dealing with Japan. And as I was stating him before we keyed up and we started the broadcast, is that some people that like have never been here are looking from the outside looking in think think this is just fictional, which is probably fully fictional,
Yeah.
you know.
And of course, it's all a lot of the things are exaggerated for the comedy, but some things are a lot more real than you expect. Like a lot of it is kind of real. So there's always truth to my skits.
Yeah, it's,
On some level, or something
yeah,
that I've experienced, something that I've seen. So
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
And as soon as I saw it, as someone living in Japan and somebody, using this platform, this podcast to me and Laville want to let individuals know what Japan really is. Like when I saw your Instagram, it was perfect. I saw the one that the skit that had me gone the most was the Attack on Tourist Part 3.
Part 3, because everyone liked part 1, and I just like because I make them on the fly, so I don't even know what's gonna happen in the next episode. So what was part 3 again? Oh, that was one where I had sex with
Does your mother watch these?
No, she's not on social media, so
Oh, lucky you.
I'm cool, man. My dad doesn't give a shit about anything, so he follows me, but he's just there supporting from the sidelines. So yeah, I'm pretty much just free to do whatever I want. Luckily, I don't have like a family that I'm like proper like close to. You know what I mean? Some
Yeah.
people might have like a big family that they kind of
Yeah.
have to watch out for. But in my case, the only family that I really had was my mum, my mum's mum, and my dad.
Yeah.
And even so, and then my grandma passed away a couple years ago. So it's
Condolences.
kind of scattered around. So really, I feel I don't feel tied down to family. So it's easier for me to just be a little bit more shameless online, if that makes sense. I don't need to private my posts. There's no close friends. It's just, you know what I mean?
No,
Hey, I know
I
exactly
see
what you
you're saying.
mean. You don't have
Yeah.
to fear that auntie that calls you and give
The
you the eye.
auntie, yeah. It's that you
Yeah,
see so
that
many
come to
people.
Jesus speech. You know your
Literally.
mama raised you better than that.
To be honest, I was raised very religiously, and one of the reasons why Japan was one of the best experiences for me was because it was the first time I got to live away from my mum and be independent, kind of. And I was 19 at the time, and that was when my life like truly started in
Yeah,
my eyes. Have you heard
yeah,
of Jehovah's Witnesses?
absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah, so
we
I
know
was
them.
raised as Jehovah's Witness, and I was a
Oh,
clean, you know, good Jehovah's Witness kid up until I was 19 years old. And once I went to Japan, I guess all that went out of the window. 19 years of, you know, Jehovah's Witness Christianity. And now I feel like I've kind of just, it was like a slingshot where I've just kind of completely gone to the other end now. And I just want to let out, you know, everything that I wanted to be, basically. I had an opportunity to be who I wanted to be for the first time, like when I went to Japan.
yeah, that's BeU, brother.
Yeah. So, well, I just wanted to have sex, really. So I
Yeah, I
got
heard.
that. I picked that off my list.
We got
Just
an
wanted,
episode about that, and I'm glad you're
Yeah.
confirming that.
Yeah.
he just wanted to
Yeah.
see did it go sideways, you know? That's what the
Yeah,
punk was all.
exactly. And I did that. And then I told the Jehovah's Witnesses, and I went to the elders in Japan because I was actually still doing it in Japan, the Jehovah's Witness thing. But I got a girlfriend.
Ah,
Yeah. Because I kind of like transferred congregations. Then I went to the elders and I was just like, hey, I've got a girlfriend and we're having sex. And they're just like, okay, we might be able to help you. Are you planning on stopping? And I was just like, no. So they're just like, okay, well, you can't really be here then. So I was just like, okay, fair enough. And
And they kicked you out the church.
you know what? They didn't even kick me out. They just said it's like a demotion kind of. So I had a
oh,
certain
You
title,
get
like a
so you gonna go to the lower tier of heaven?
something.
Look at that. They're
Basically,
gonna put you
yeah,
in the
it's just like
projects of heaven.
they said you're free to come to the church and participate. Well, yes, you're not allowed to participate. You're not allowed to preach anymore. You're not allowed because you can't be identified as Jehovah's Witnesses if you're having, premarital sex. So I was just like,
right.
this was all I'd known for 19 years. So I'm just like, you know what? I want to keep coming. This is still part of who I am.
Yeah.
And then she broke up with me the next day after we had that meeting. So I was just like, and then I told them, okay, well, we're actually broken up now. So, and they're just like, okay, that's fine. We're still going to announce it though to the church that you've been having sex. So I was just like, literally. So they announced it a few days later. And then I was just like, you know what? I'm already, might as well just have some more sex while I'm here. And then I'll go back. But then I never
You
went back.
lost Jesus and
So,
your
and my girlfriend, yeah, I was just like,
and your
yeah, you
girlfriend.
know what? We're together, I'm not going to stop having sex with her, because I feel like I really love her, even though it's been a month. And then she broke up with me the day after that. And then literally, but that was a good lesson. It was a very good lesson.
What, never to tell anybody who you having sex with? Or what?
No, it was I'm glad that I was able to, because leaving the religion was very hard for me, because obviously it was very important to my mom as well. It was very close to her heart. So it was
Yeah.
kind of like, I wouldn't have been able to have the strength otherwise. But I had a good enough excuse. Had a girlfriend who I supposedly loved, which wasn't the case. But
Yeah.
and she turned out to be a little bit men-header. So yeah, it was like a crash course in toxic relationships.
Yep. Yep. We all
Yeah,
have it. If you come to
yeah.
Japan and your first relationship is probably, I haven't met too many individuals that hit it on the first, first at bat.
Bro, that's true. My first couple were hell.
My first couple were hell, bro.
Really?
Hell.
Yeah.
Hell.
Like a girl broke up with me because she said her best friend didn't like me. I was like,
Really? I think your sound cut off.
Yeah, Vel, I think Vel, you got cut off, bro.
Doesn't make sense. My bad.
Okay, you good now.
How do you make?
good.
How do you
Yeah.
get ghosted when you? The fact your friend doesn't like you. Your man or something. Yeah. Then I met the most ghetto Japanese girl I ever met. Also, so.
Yeah, they're there. They're
Yeah.
there in
Yeah.
Roppongi.
Oh, Rapongi. Don't like that is, oh my goodness. I retired Rapongi some years ago. I haven't been there since, man.
Really?
That's a
Bad
terrible place.
experiences?
Yeah, it's a
The
void. It's like a
ghetto.
vortex.
Vortex.
You know, if you, I guarantee, and Vale could probably vouch for this as well. I can go back to Rapongi today, and I'm almost sure, almost positive, the same cats gonna be out there.
Mm,
You know, chasing ass. You know,
mm.
it's just
And Fubu
in Fubu, in Fubu,
with a
exactly.
throwback.
With a throwback.
What's Infubu?
Oh
Fubu,
no,
Fubu,
that
the
I'm
clothing
saying they're
brand.
gonna be wearing Fubu for you by you. It's like a very old fashioned brand from like the 90s. It's
Oh.
it's called For Us by Us. It's like for black people. It's called For You, For Us by Us. That's what they say. A lot of people say
Oh,
they made it.
is that like is an American brand that Japanese people wear? Well, Japanese
No, like black people used to
Okujin
wear a
hunters.
long time ago. So what I'm saying is like lame guys from back in the day are still stuck out there from 20 years ago. Look, trying to
Ah, you're talking
chase
about the
the poo man.
guys. Okay. I thought you
Yeah,
were talking about the women.
yeah. Oh, the girls still wearing baby fats. The old heads, like the
Yeah, I've
women that
seen
been out
some
there
of
for
that.
20
The
years.
velour, the
Like you
velour.
still got baby fat on?
Yeah, that's shit. That shit's no good, bro. So, so Richard, man, the funny thing to me is that you were only in Japan for a year, right? And what year
Yep.
was that?
That was 2017 to 2019, I think. Yeah,
Okay,
2018 to
and
2019. Sorry,
yeah,
2017, 2018.
yeah. So what kind of springs you to say, hey, I need to, because me and Bill were kind of like the same way when I had a YouTube video go viral,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, yeah, we need to be letting more people know about this place because people are getting more interested all of a sudden, and they kind of getting this, as we always both say on this podcast, is that the Japanese, as you know as well, know how to you know control and take control of their narrative. Like they don't let nobody get up in that shit. So
Mm.
they paint this pretty ass picture, and then you get here, and then it's like that picture is that's
This
not what
place
I
is
do.
funny. Like
Yeah,
when
this
you
place is
look
funny.
at it, you like, wow, that place looks magical and so
Mm.
in
Mm.
order. And then you get here and you're like, yo, this is a funny, beautiful mess.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a yeah, it's a funny,
So
beautiful mess. So it's not bad. Like Japanese people that's listening, hey, I'm not trying to hit your country. I'm just saying
Mm.
the image from the outside makes it look like you walking into some anime series where cherry blossoms fall at noon every day and hot tea time and
Sugoi.
everything.
yes,
Yeah, and girls walk around floating
yeah.
saying kawaii every 30 seconds. Like,
Mm.
but then you get here and everybody's wearing black and gray and their heads are down.
Yep,
Mm.
And
Joker's on the
There's
train.
always there is that
Mhm.
aspect. There is obviously the otherworldly kind of aspect that is just like, wow, this is a different country. This is so different. It's so
yeah,
interesting. You know, of course there is that aspect, but you need to realize that if you're living there, then it's a different ball game because
Mm,
obviously the realities there's a reality of the culture as well. So especially the work culture and stuff like that. It's
mm.
yeah, you
not
gotta learn to
all.
bow. You gotta learn the 5 ways to bow, right?
You know what? I never even did, man. I just know. But if you're
I
if
don't
you're a
blame you.
foreigner, if
You
you're a
bro
foreigner,
handshake to everybody, bro.
no, I think I handshake. Yeah, I just literally handshaked, and they looked at my hand. I was just like, what do I do with this?
Eh, eh, nani kore?
They just kind
Eh,
of like poked it with their
mm,
finger.
eh, kore.
It's like, oh my
Mm.
bro.
My bro.
Yeah,
But if you're a
mm,
gaijin, if you're a foreigner, then you get you get a little bit of leeway to make a few mistakes.
yeah,
They go easy on you. You know what I mean? So
yep,
I'm sure I did a bunch of stuff that was completely inappropriate. But
probably.
they kind of let me off because they just thought I was stupid. Do you know what I mean? They're just like, you know what, he's a foreigner. Just there's you know, he's
He's
disabled.
he'll fly home soon. Don't worry. Just
Yeah, no,
a few
Yes.
more months. A few more months.
Yes. Yes, exactly. They be counting the fucking days down. Be counting the
yeah,
fucking days down, boy.
yeah.
So is that like what sprung you to say like, okay, I'm gonna start making these funny ass Instagram videos on Instagram and posting them? Like
I've
what made you say what made you do that?
I've always been a bit of a performer. So
I could
I'm not
tell.
saying I
Mm,
have experience performing, but you know, I feel like ever since I was a kid, I've liked attention. So you know, I was one of those annoying kids that just wanted to be the center of attention all the time, and I think it just
mm,
stemmed from that. And also, I was bored. I was a bored, lonely kid growing up,
mm,
so I kind of had to entertain myself.
mm,
And the idea of skits and making comedy was always appealing to me. I just never really did. I think maybe when I was 10, I once tried to make a few funny videos just on my own, but they never went anywhere. My mum didn't allow me to use or to post anything on YouTube because he's a very private person. So I didn't have much freedom in that respect. But then when
mm.
TikTok came along and I saw people doing comedy skits and stuff like that, I was just like, I'm not really into the whole, you know, half naked dance TikTok trends, but this might be able to be an opportunity for me to create something.
Mm,
So I actually started off, you can scroll down to my TikTok, you can see I started off doing English comedy, like, you know, relatable UK skits.
mm,
Even though I could already speak Japanese, because
mm,
that's what was, it came more naturally to me.
mm,
And you know, they got a few thousand views, nothing crazy, you know. Um, and then I followed a trend called it's basically like a glow up trend. So you basically post a bunch of pictures from when you were like not so good looking, and then post your final picture to how you currently look to like a specific soundtrack. And it's kind of like, you know, the title of the video was watch me grow out of my whatever phase. So, you know, watch me
yeah.
grow out of my ugly duckling phase, watch me grow out of my whatever. So my video was entitled watch me grow out of my I want to be Japanese phase. Because in my late teens,
Mm,
I kind of got is when I first started getting into Japan. I started watching a bit
mm,
of anime. I watched
same
Tokyo
here.
Ghoul.
Yeah.
Relaxed my hair, got my hair straightened. I started to dress like it was like it was like a weeb and an emo had a baby with a black guy. That's basically what I looked like in college when I was like 17.
Really?
So I posted, yeah, I'll show you a few pictures. They're kind of mad. I thought I looked cool back then, but I really didn't. So I basically post that video, and because of how stupid I looked back then, that video actually was the first video that went viral.
Right.
And so that was the you know, the glow up video, and they're just like, oh wow, you all look, people were just like, wow, he actually looks so much better now, you know, he's, you know, seems much more confident. And that's when I started to do the Japanese skits,
Mm, mm, mm, mm,
because
mm,
people were interested in, you know, where the Japanese inspiration came from. And then I was just like,
mm.
oh hey, by the way, I do actually speak Japanese, let me, you know, tell you a little bit more about my experiences. And then
So,
I just started, yeah, I started to make skits. Like skits was always my go-to form of comedy. I don't know why, but you know, when it comes to me and creating, I have the tendency to go towards, you know, the skit route. So I was just like, let me make a few skits in Japanese, um, kind of outlining my experience, like true stories. So my first few Japanese skits were like genuinely true stories. So like, you know, I don't know if you saw the one where I walk in the club or in Hub actually, and these guys were just like, "Oh, Floyd Mayweather," and that that was completely true.
Floyd
Floyd
Mayweather.
Mayweather,
I heard that one. Floyd Mayweather with
yeah,
dreads, huh?
Hey,
But
yo,
yeah,
one of the
Floyd Mayweather's
people on
fucking bald headed, by the way, people. If anybody missed that,
yeah.
one people Instagram said, "Did you not throw run into the hub?"
Do I know it to run? I did all kinds of things to get attention in Hub, you know, because I still wasn't, I hadn't reached um my full potential yet. So I still looked a little bit of an otaku, not too much. I was not as bad as in college, but you know, not enough to make the gaijin hunters lick their lips, if that makes sense. So I was still on
The
the
Gaijin
verge.
hunters, the demon hunters, bro. I
Yeah.
love this
They
guy.
is. That's what they are. I
I
understand. I
actually,
understand
you know
exactly what you
what?
mean.
I can't see the Instagram live chat. I think it's frozen for me for a long time. So I'm
Oh
gonna
snap!
leave
So,
and I'm gonna come back in.
all right, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the people are loving you though, man. They're asking you a lot of questions.
Really? Yeah, they probably are, but I literally haven't seen a new message for the last 10 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense. That's
Okay.
why the
Just invite
numbers
me
count.
again.
The live number dropped, I think, because your stuff was frozen.
Okay.
They said we love you, Richard.
Oh, really?
Somebody said otaku repellent protected him.
Otaku repellent protected him. I was the otaku repellent.
In the hub doing Naruto runs around to get numbers.
What was I trying to do in the hub?
Yo, we
I was in the hub trying to pretend that I liked the taste of beer, talking to women. Because I never got a chance to do it when I was living with my mum. So this is my first experience, talking to women and actually, just going out, being myself, showing the world
hold
who
on.
I am.
Pause for the cause, Richard. You lost your virginity in Japan?
Yes.
Yo, that's dope.
Yeah. With my first girlfriend, the one that turned out to be a psycho. And
Oh, that's
after
why you had to announce it, because that was like your
that
moment.
was, yeah, I literally it was the equivalent of committing murder. So I was just like, you know what, guys, I'm so sorry. And you know what? After I had sex for the first time, I kind of rolled over onto my back and I just stared at the ceiling and I was just like, what the hell have I just done? And she was looking at me like, are you okay? And I'm just like, yeah, I just need a bit of time to, it's lots of mixed emotions right now. And then she just like, I thought you said it was okay though. I thought you said you wanted to have sex. And I was just like, yeah, I wanted to have sex, but at the same time, this is quite heavy stuff. I just felt like I literally killed someone with my bare hands. And I was just there, like, I'm sorry.
Guess
And then we
what?
did it again in the morning. And I was just like, actually,
You don't
I
feel
like
bad.
I
I
like
was there
this.
before
I
when I
like
lost
this.
mine. I'm a PK kid, so I'm a very religious family as well.
Mm.
So when I lost mine, I felt the same way. I was like, yo, I'm going to hell. I'm fucking going to hell. And then you was like, yo, let's do it again.
Just
So
do it again, yeah.
yeah.
And then after about the third time, I was just like, well, I guess this is, shit happens. This is my life now.
It's like, yo, mom and dad be the best at whatever they said, be the best at whatever you do. So I'm gonna be the best.
Yeah. I spent so long on YouTube, looking at techniques. And actually, you know what? For my first time on the build up, I was just like, I want to be the best ever. Like, so I went on, I was, practicing scenarios in my head, stroke technique.
But yo,
Make sure that shit pipe game is strong.
yo, that's gonna be another episode about when the really religious boys gave it up. But your videos, back to these skits though.
Mm,
So you decided you transitioned into these Japanese skits, right?
yes.
Where did these ideas for the material come from though? Are these like
True
real
stories.
true stories?
I mean, nowadays, I have to kind of make up because obviously I was only there for a year. There's only so many few like true stories that I have to share. But my first few skits were like completely true stories, and then they started to be based on true stories, and then exaggerated a little bit. And now sometimes sometimes they're not even based on my experiences. Sometimes they're literally just comedy that I think of. But a lot of the time they are somewhat based on true stories. And when I say based on true stories, I mean, you know, like literally, it could be something as simple as like very loosely based. on a true story, because obviously I've
mm,
run out
mm.
of true stories. So yeah, nowadays, don't read too much into it. Um, a lot of them can be inspired from true stories, but not necessarily true stories, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
exactly what you
Understood.
mean.
Yeah.
But
But a
like,
lot. Yeah, go on.
yeah, but most of the content that you make, like you stated, it's pretty. It could be factual to an extent,
Oh
So
yeah, yeah,
of
yeah.
course,
There's
of course, some of the things like you add in there, like the with the meeting appearance with a guy like turns into like some type of like demon, and like
yeah,
basically
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
shit was fucking funny as hell.
Yeah, exactly. That wasn't true at all. But the
Yeah,
idea for that probably stemmed from like a real conversation I had, for example. You know what I mean? Or something that I've
yeah.
heard from someone else. Yeah.
So the people said, "Do you have any like funny stories or experiences with gaijin or fellow gaijins when you were in Japan?" Like that would be. I think
Gaijins
that would be dope.
themselves.
Yeah, just like not even making fun of the Japanese, just like you and the gaijin over here probably looking stupid at the toilet in the floor, like, "Yo, what we doing here?" Like,
I remember like we were out. There was a really cool friend I made called Lam. He's from South Africa. A lot of people probably know him. If you're in Tokyo.
I've
We
heard that
were
name
just
before.
kind of yeah, you probably know him. He's a fucking dickhead. We were just like jamming on the train. We were just jamming on the train. We ended up, there was like maybe 4 or 5 of us, and we were, we were just kind of hanging out, and we started beatboxing, and it was like a freestyle ring, but on the Japanese train. So obviously we got a bunch of salarymen that were like trying to get home, and obviously you're not even supposed to talk on the phone on a Japanese train. That's how silent it is.
Damn it.
And then there's literally us just beatboxing on the train, just a bunch of, well, we're all mixed. So there's a few black guys, a few Asians. And I don't know, I just think it was funny because it was a wholesome moment for us, but at the same time, I don't think we really left a good impression on everyone who was in that train carriage, because it was quite loud. We were just literally like, and we were just like, nigga, I'm in Japan, fucking all these hoes, and it's just like, I don't know, I just found that funny, because and then I kind of I didn't realize, because I had a rucksack on my bag, and I was like kind of pushing into a Japanese guy who was behind me, and I didn't realize, so he was kind of like squashed between me and the door,
Yeah.
and he kind of shoved me. He was like an older, like
Yeah.
60-year-old guy. He's just like, I
Yeah.
can't swear on anything. And I was just like, oh,
That's just like,
sumimasen, sumimasen.
and he just gave you that look. They can't have
Yeah,
eye
because I was kind
contact.
of, obviously
You,
he was backed up
mm,
against the door, and I was pushing him
Oh,
with my
somebody
rucksack,
said
and
they're
I
trying
had
to
no
help
idea.
you. Rico English says, "I can't wait to welcome you in Japan."
Oh,
Ooh.
Rico on English, keep the manco warm for me. That's what I've got to say, man. Actually, no, she's coming to London, so
Oh.
make sure you transport the manco very safely, and I will welcome you when you come here. She's actually moving here. I can't see the chat, by the way. I still can't see
Oh,
it. I
so
don't
you
know
it's
know,
what's
I'll
cool.
going
We
let you
on.
got you,
know.
player. We
And
got you,
Yeah,
player.
Rico Don
somebody else,
English. Shout out to you. I love your videos. You're amazing.
you got a lot
Looking
of cute
forward to
girls
hanging
saying
out.
hey to you, bro. I want to be you for the day. We look like a little bit like, nah, we just got similar hair. But I
Yeah,
want to
you
be
know what I'm
you.
saying.
A lot of these girls like, hey baby, what's up?
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what they're saying
yeah.
down
Really,
here.
Yeah.
it's going
So
down.
so so where are you in my DMs then? Where are you in my DMs when I need you?
Exactly. Y'all trying to get followers. That's all. Y'all lame.
Yo,
Hit him in the
ladies,
DM.
get in
Hit
his
him in the
DM.
DMs. Then y'all out here
I'm
in the
joking.
chat.
I love everyone. I love you all. Thank you
Get your
so much.
COVID passport up. Go to London. Holler at them.
You did.
No,
You
definitely.
did.
I'm here.
Man,
But
I
I'm
was just
sorry, I
about.
can't see the chat right now, so I can't see all your
Like I
messages.
said, bro, I got you. That's why I'm telling them, jump in them DMs, yo. I got you. I'm the
My
best.
DMs
This
are
is
always open. DMs are always open, like
this is something that
100%.
this is something I that's been on my mind. I wanted to ask you as well too, and we'll probably have our other brother on as a guest host, Anthony, who I found well, I found it through Vail, but he follows you as well too. He's a
Hmm.
UK brother, but I want to ask from your perspective, do you feel that the like let's say women and men, but then like do you feel that UK brothers are treated differently than brothers from the States? Like, do you feel like there's like they decipher us somehow in essence? Because we've talked to our boy, and he's probably let's shout out to Anthony. Um, he said it's definitely a different vibe with you being from from the UK.
Really?
Um, yeah, how
I
do
mean,
you?
towards Japanese people. So Japanese people see us different, like Black British people different to Black American people. Is that what you're
Yes,
saying?
Yeah,
yes.
like they don't hold their purses tight when they see you. Like they
Really?
don't
Well,
cross the road.
how would they know the difference
They
though?
do because they walk up to
They
you
think
like,
we're
"Where
all
you
from
from?"
America,
Like
anyways.
they hold it first, right? And they be like, "So where you from?" And then when you say like London, they say, "Ah,
Oh,
they let go." Like,
Harry Potter, ne? Harry Potter.
and then
大好きだよ.
when like when you
One
say like
Direction.
American, they be like, "Oh." Then they
You
pull their
know what?
mask.
Honestly, I've never thought about that, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I've never thought about that, and it's never really something that stood out to me personally. Not that particular thing. I mean, I know that people were surprised to hear that I was from the UK, and some people didn't believe me because they just assumed everyone was white. Which
Mm.
the rest of the UK is predominantly white, but London is just a mixed bag. It's
Yes, Miss
very
Bag.
similar to America. It's just like all kinds of immigrants, all kinds of people. We
Okay.
immigrants outweigh the white people in
Mm.
London, in the main
Yeah,
city.
they don't like
But a
that
lot of
shit.
people don't know that, so they just imagine One Direction, all white, and they're just like, really, you're from the UK?
I think they just see brothers from London be like Idris Elba.
Just
They see us and they're like Denzel, like
İdris
yeah,
Elba son ne?
Michael B. Jordan. We kind of like out of date. You guys are hot right
yeah.
now. I think like
But to be honest,
everybody.
they definitely do think London is oshare. They think they have a classy view of the UK. So maybe that's probably the difference. They're just like, oh, Americans, they just smoke weed all the time and they're criminals. But UK, they drink tea and one Harry Potter. So maybe I can see why that might be a thing, but it's not something that I've like experienced firsthand.
Shaneru. She
Oh,
said
Shaneru.
most Japanese people didn't even know black people were in the UK.
Yeah. No,
That's
no, exactly.
crazy.
That's what I was saying. They were
That's
surprised.
crazy.
They were surprised. Some of them were surprised when I told them, and they were just like,
Eh?
"Yeah, Hontoni," and I'm just like,
Charm
"Yes."
said weed is medicine. Let it go.
It sure is shit.
Yes, Dundee. I think she said like the classy view is associated with Europe. I think it very much is. Hey, I'm
Yeah.
tired of everybody trying to, knock on America. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we got some class.
You know
We
what?
got
To be
style.
honest,
We got
you
swag.
know what? You got Pop Smoke, so I mean, and you got Texas.
We don't got Pop Smoke. Pop Smoke is gone. He got
Well,
popped.
okay.
He sure
Okay.
did. Damn. Our
All our
people.
rappers
Honestly,
get popped.
honestly, I've been really interested in visiting America recently. I've gotten a lot more into it, kind of, I don't know, interested in the
Okay.
idea of
Thank you.
America. Like, I definitely want to visit, and I don't know much about, the different states and everything like that, but I do definitely want to get to know you guys more, and I
Just
definitely want to visit
just don't go over there
100%.
knocking on doors, talking about Jehovah's Witness. You might get
Yeah,
popped for
yeah,
real. Like
yeah.
they be
I'm
black.
gonna go door knocking in the Bronx.
I'm messing with you. I actually have a friend that was over here and she was Jehovah's Witness and like
Oh,
she was black from America and she was with the Japanese church and then she was always talking to me about
oh.
it. And I was like,
You know
yo,
what? I
that's
might have
cool.
even met her. I might have met her. Maybe.
Her name was Pam. She was like
Pam.
an older black woman and she had like some boys, like 2 or 3 sons, like 2 sons over here.
Ah, okay. I don't think I know her.
Mm. And then she introduced me to a couple more people. I can't remember they were Japanese. But yeah, man, if you go to America, yeah, definitely holler at us. We'll let you know what cities are good. I've been to most of America.
Yeah. Definitely want to go, and I'll try the food. The food looks interesting, like the proper unhealthy, greasy shit like that.
That's right.
Yeah, that's
There
what I
you
want
go.
to try. You know what I
You
There
mean?
live
you go.
once. Go over there and get
Yeah,
diabetes. Don't get
yeah,
STD. Get diabetes. You know what I'm saying? Like
100%.
lose a foot.
Baby
speaking of
back
that.
ribs,
Yep.
Oh yeah. You gotta go to
There you
Tennessee,
go.
man, and get
super
real fat.
size cheeseburgers,
It's like y'all can always imitate our accents,
double
whatever, but I can't.
XL.
I
Yeah, it's
Because
because
all we
we
do
always
is
hear you on TV. We hear you
thank
like
you.
your cinema, and we see you all the time and we hear you, but because you don't really see us on TV and in media because we're much smaller. You know what I mean?
But we do now, like in a lot of our movies. But I never find out until I see one of the actors on like an interview, and they're a Brit. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
Ah,
like, like shit.
Yeah,
A
like
lot of,
most of the Black Panther actors were from London, and you like, huh?
huh?
I thought
yeah,
Yeah,
y'all was like black. Y'all are
yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I
polished
was like,
black.
what? Yeah,
It's easier for us to imitate you guys
way easier. Y'all be having me dying when you
because
imitate.
we see you all
Yeah,
the time. Yeah, we have more to go off.
yeah, man. You come to the States, man. You drop that accent on them women. Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
You
They
know
into
what?
that.
I definitely want to experience that 100%. I want to
It'll
see their
happen.
response.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it will happen.
It's just like, oh
Like
my
Oh
you,
my
God, are you from Australia?
yes.
bro. Bro, real talk. We take you to like the A, bro. You gonna get mad play.
Yeah, off rip.
What's the A?
Atlanta.
Oh, yeah, no, I want to go there.
Hot Atlanta. How old are you, bro?
24.
Oh shit, yeah. Yeah. 24. Shit.
Bro, you wouldn't have to
50,
spend no
Prime
money,
what?
bro. You'll just
Prime
get
I
time.
was
lost.
been- you would
Get lost it.
Bro, you'll just get
Get
lost. We'd be like, yo, where bro at? Like,
where Richard at?
Like, guys, I don't know where I am right now.
Drowning in pussy.
I'm in a
Drowning.
taxi.
how do people in Japan think of interracial relationships in your experiences? That's a great question. Thank you for asking that question.
That is a great question. That's a great question.
Shannon
Man.
Rue, yes, polished black. That's what the Brits are. I know everybody said no, not Atlanta. Yo, we just gonna take them there for a quick visit, not to live, guys. Come on. All right, so back to interracial. Thank you for the interracial question. Roll them. Y'all answer that question.
Okay.
Yeah, you know,
You
there's
guys
always
go
some
first.
haters out there. I think most Japanese men that are, you know, those Showa, like the 80s, 70s, so they're like 40, 50, they're not fucking with it. They still want Japan to be this homogenous, pure, as they say, country, things of that nature. Like I said, I think as everybody knows, I'm in an interracial relationship. My wife is Japanese, but
Black and
I,
yellow, black and
I'm
yellow.
black and yellow. We got a beautiful son. We got a beautiful son that he's gonna be a Monko master one day, probably. Oh man, shit, it's gonna happen. But anyways, like my in-laws, they cool with it, you know. In an older Japanese way, you know. They don't disrespect me or anything. They don't, you know. And I think, of course, like one big reason for that is because that I do speak, you know, Japanese.
Yeah.
Well,
At least
so
you
that
understand the culture.
yeah, like I can act. Like I always, you know, I always tell people here that, you know, in some situations I do feel like an actor, you know. I don't feel
Oh,
like
really?
yeah, bro. Like when I get into
Mm.
real Japanese mode, like Lavelle's seen it too. Like that ain't Ashley. Like that nigga jumped, that nigga jumped all the way out his body and came back. You know what I'm saying? Like he's it. Like if you see me in action with some of these motherfuckers, and
Yeah.
you get, you know, you get them fixed. They then when that shit come out their mouth, like, oh, you are like Japanese. That's like, but it's like, nah, the fuck I ain't. And then but that's when you know you got. That's when that's when you know you got them. So
Yeah.
that I think that's kind of how they. I think that's kind of how they view me. Like they view, like I don't know. I don't know. I think like I'm like my image, my person is invisible, but they just like hear the Japanese and see me do the Japanese stuff, so they just kind of they're comfortable with that, right?
You makes them more comfortable, at least being able to speak Japanese and, you know, be immersed in the culture
Yeah,
makes them feel a little bit more comfortable, at least.
yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah.
think
It
it would be
does.
much worse
Yeah.
if you didn't speak Japanese or didn't make an effort to learn. Then you'd run into a lot more problems and kind of like discrimination from your in-laws and from Japanese people, I think.
Yeah, I
Definitely.
probably think so as well too. For the
Yeah,
most
yeah,
part, but some just damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like they
What
don't
about
seem
you,
to.
Richard?
With me, to be honest, I had 2 relationships in Japan, and they weren't really long term. So I'm not, I don't have many stories to tell on the topic of like in-laws and like proper deep stuff. However, there is one thing I noticed is that a lot of Japanese, if you're walking with a Japanese girl, maybe, you know, holding her hand, walking down the road or something, people will look at you a lot. And what will happen is couples, like Japanese couples, will look at us. Well, they'll look at her and then they'll look at me. Then they'll look back at her. And then they'll just keep holding eye contact as they walk past. And I realized it happened like so often. Like they'll see the Japanese person and they'll look at me and be like, and then they'll look back at the Japanese woman. And so you don't really know what they're thinking, but it's just the fact that they're so blatantly staring.
Yeah.
And I don't know, when you stare back at them, they kind of, some of them just continue staring and some of them just kind of like, freeze up and look the other way. But I've noticed, like when I was walking with my ex, she was I don't know, she seemed to notice it as well. She didn't comment on it, but I always wonder if that made her feel a little bit uncomfortable, because obviously Japanese culture is about blending in and stuff like that. But with me, obviously, she stuck out quite a lot.
Exactly.
So I was just like, are you okay with this? And she's just like, oh yeah, I'm fine, I've noticed. Have you ever noticed that this is my theory, I don't think anyone's ever talked about this from me, but if you see another black guy walking with a Japanese girl and you're also, as a black guy, walking with a Japanese girl, have you ever have you never kind of like looked at the black guy, then looked at the Japanese girl, and you're kind of comparing to see who's the hotter couple? Like just low key.
That's a
You
good
know what I
question.
mean? You're looking at the guy, seeing, okay, who's taller, who's got the hotter girl, and then just as you're walking past each other, it's all in
I
a
think
split
everyone
second.
does that, bro. Like if you don't do that, then it's like probably not like survival of the fittest. It's like looking at somebody else's car and you riding by and
Yeah,
you
exactly. But
like,
if you're the only,
damn, I need to
if you're the
upgrade.
exactly, it's like looking at someone else's car. But if you are the only two cars within within the city, then it's just like, you know what I mean? It's like when two dogs see each other, they're just like, oh wow, there's another dog. So it's like that's how it is with black people. Like in Japan, you don't see them often. So obviously you've done that thing where you see another black guy in Japan, you do the bro nod, you're like, oh hey, how are you? You have that little thing. But when you're both walking with a Japanese girl, it's just like, then it becomes competition almost.
It's because you stepped out of pocket. Like when you step out of the so-called like little race thing or whatever, it's like, did I step out and upgrade? Like, did I step out and do good? Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I think both parties kind of question that. Like, dang, did I get a real one or a generic one? You know what I mean? Like, I see that a lot of times with Japanese girls when they walking through here and they got like a lame brother, right? And they like,
Oh man.
and they run across you and you fly, right?
Yeah.
And then they look and they be like, damn, they look back at him and they look him up and down and they be like, you tricked me. I thought you was real.
You ain't never lied, bro. Talk about that all the time,
like
man.
for real. They give you that look and you can read it, because this is stuff that happened even back home with brothers. Like if you say mess with white chicks or even a sister, they gonna look at you and like, damn, I need to go over here and get with this dude, because it's kind of like survival of the fittest. It's like, you're not up on game. You don't have to be the alpha, but whatever you do, you better do it well. You better be the flyest person, the smartest, the strongest, the most intimidating. Whatever you selling her, you better do it well. If not, she might slide out. Opportunists. And same thing with the women when it come to men. Like you looking at your woman, she got a big booty, better have the best booty, better have the best breasts, you know what I'm saying, the prettiest eyes. It's just kind of how it go when they go to the dating world. So yes, it's still common in states. Is it easy to find jobs for foreigners in Japan? Richard, was it hard for you to find a job in Japan? Like, did you just come here and just...
Not at all. I mean, I actually taught myself Japanese for about 2 years before I went to Japan.
Beautiful.
So I was already like maybe N3. I was intermediate by the time I went. And then I just applied to a local ramen shop with the Japanese that I knew. And luckily I had cooking qualifications because I studied cooking in college. So I was technically a qualified chef. Which didn't mean shit to them, by the way, because they still had me scrubbing dishes. But yeah, I passed every job interview that I had. So they were only for restaurants though. So first job was a ramen shop and second job was a curry shop. It wasn't hard for me. As long as I would say, as long as you can speak Japanese to a decent degree, maybe N4 at the very least, but aim for N3. You can easily get a job at a restaurant. Because even when you're at a restaurant as a waiter, you're saying the same things to Japanese people. You're saying the same phrases. Welcome to the store. How many there are you? Are you ready to order? Can I take your order? Really, anyone could do it. Really, you don't even have to speak Japanese for restaurants. It's just getting past the interview, and then you're good for restaurants.
Lavelle has mentioned that before, and look, people out there listening, Richard is confirming it as well. He ain't lying. Like if you can, if you go into a restaurant for a week, you can serve and work in the restaurant.
100%. It's the same phrases. That's why you don't even learn much working at a restaurant. I mean, the only things you're learning is when you're talking to your colleagues in your free time, or maybe talking to customers. But really, if you're busy working and just saying the same things, ramen demasu, hai ramen de gozaimasu, hai dozo, hai seki dozo, hai irashaimase. It's literally the same thing. So
so is that.
Yeah, exactly. And then for higher level jobs, like jobs you need to be qualified for, I haven't actually worked for a Japanese company, so I don't know much about it, but you need N2, which is, slightly higher level, business level Japanese, or you might have to write emails and speak a little bit more formally. And you need to be qualified for the job, obviously. So as long as you're qualified for the job and you can speak Japanese and you're not a dickhead, then I don't see why you wouldn't be able to get a job in Japan.
And the people want to know, does the mango help you speak Japanese better? Why is the mango in your hand? That's what the
mango,
world wants
I thought, to be honest, I randomly had this mango because I was doing a little promo video for a little project I have coming out. I'm getting my own bubble tea flavor named after me at a local, it's not even local, it's in central London, in a Japanese bubble tea place, because the manager happens to be a fan. And she's just like, and she's making me a Yakult mango milk flavor based off of me, basically. So I went down to the place and kind of filmed a little promo of me, making the drink. And I bought a bunch of mangoes because, I needed to cut it and stuff like that. So I still have it in my room. So I was just like, you know what? Why don't I just have it here?
And plug my drink. I
wasn't even going to do it, but you guys brought it up. So you know what?
So you know what you people do that's thirsty? Get the mango drink. And he would give you his number, slide in his DMs. He got what you call the mango. You give him the mango and he give you the mango.
Exactly.
You like the mango? I give the mango.
So, I want to ask one last question before we go ahead and wrap it up. And it is, you only stayed a year.
Yes.
Why? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I've been here 10, but I finally got to my 10th year and I said it's time to go. But I was teetering at year 5. I was teeter-tottering, and it was like, I think it's time. But why'd you say, like, no, like I can't be past here. I can't be here past a year.
I'll tell you what, honestly, I would still be there if I was able to.
Really?
1 year wasn't actually enough for me. I tried to stay, but the only reason I couldn't stay was because I didn't have a work visa. A bachelor's degree from uni, and you need a bachelor's degree. Well, in 9 times out of 10, if you want a work visa, right? Yeah. So I applied for a few, and I didn't know that up until like 2 months before my visa ended. So I was always planning on switching to an English school and getting a visa sponsorship.
Yeah.
But then someone told me, oh, actually, you can't if you haven't been to uni yet. And I hadn't been to university. I was only like 20 at the time.
Yeah.
So I tried, I applied to a bunch of places. I was just like, hey, will you hire me? Will you give me an interview? Will you give me a sponsorship? And they're just like, we want to hire you, but if you haven't got a bachelor's degree, then we can't actually give you a visa sponsorship by law. So I had to come back. And then I entered university here in London, and I'm on my last year now. So when I graduate, I plan to move back. next year. Like, so
Oh,
in
really?
6 months at the earliest, if everything goes to plan, assuming the borders are open and I've, you know, got my savings in order and I've applied for a language school, because I'm thinking, you know, why not just apply as an English teacher, since it's the easiest way to get in.
It is.
But that's the only reason why I wasn't able to stay. Like, but Japan was the best experience of my life, because, you know, it taught me about a lot about myself. It's the first time I was able to be independent. You know, the experiences, the friends I made, like, it was really, really, like, surreal. And I've been wanting to go back ever since I came back to London. So I actually want to live there for good, as in I want to move back permanently. Don't know if it will be forever. It will probably end up being a situation like you, where you stay for 10 years and then, you know, finally, you know, pack it up. But yeah, for the foreseeable future, I definitely want to go back, live there for a few years at least, and just, you know, do what I'm doing now, but on a bigger scale. So if I can, you know, make it onto Japanese TV and, you know, get my own show or whatever, you know, just make the most of it. So hopefully I could do that in the next year or so.
That's dope, man. Sounds beautiful.
Yeah, man, we waiting on you, bro.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
appreciate your support, man, honestly.
No
Appreciate
doubt
your
about it,
support.
man. You're a talented brother. Like I said, when I saw your
Thank you.
when I saw your content, it had me laughing for days. And you know, I was thinking about showing it to my wife, but she might have smacked the shit out of me. But
Really? Is it that
no,
bad?
I'm like, I think my wife would have been good with it. I'm like, hey, bro, like it's some Japanese men and some Japanese women. You know that shit ain't gonna sit too well. You know, a lot of them don't know how to, you know, joke with themselves. Some do. Like you probably met some, but you know, they just oh, I'm gonna show you. Like,
I feel like a lot of Japanese people might not actually understand the humor. They might not get it.
Or
You know
some
what I
just
mean?
don't want to.
Yeah.
I think, you know, or someone just might not get it at all. Is right.
They
as
might
well
just
too.
feel like I'm taking the piss, basically. Because on some level, I am making fun of Japanese culture as well as, you know, foreigners themselves.
Yeah, you are. But we know how to, you know, we know how to, most of us know how to take a fucking joke. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like I said, I love your shit, but I'm just saying, like, I like you said it, you got a guy who's in your, you know, inbox. Trust me, you might have some more heat come your way, and you know how to handle it, or just have him hit me up. Like, I'll let him know. Like, look, man.
To be honest, man, honestly, I don't receive negative comments. Not that I know of, anyways. Like, you know, like, I'm surprised at how little hate. I've never received a hateful message. Maybe, you know, someone in the comments will be like, you know, but even so, it's like 1 out of every 200 comments, you know.
Well, yeah, that's good.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm actually very happy. I'm blessed to have such a supportive fan base, you know, foreigners and Japanese people alike.
Beautiful.
So yeah, I'm actually very fortunate. Some people were actually surprised when I told them that I didn't really face any controversial comments or any backlash. But yeah, not that I know of. Like, that's why I kind of continue, you know, getting even more and more explicit sometimes, because no one's told me to stop. So it's just like, I feel like I'm gonna get myself cancelled one day. I will get myself cancelled one day by saying or doing something just a teeny bit over the edge. But
yeah,
we'll see.
Japan won't cancel you as long as you don't bully
a
person in particular. I don't think. Like, if you
Like,
went for a celeb and was like impersonating them, like right now with the bullying thing, you know, like that one girl wrestler who committed suicide. Like, I think that's how people would come for you, but you're just speaking in Japanese as brothers. Like, can you attack someone for speaking Japanese and being funny? Like, no, that's like saying a Japanese can't speak English and be funny. That's literally what you're doing. So, man, keep doing what you're doing. Keep being the best you that you can be.
Thank you very much.
A lot of people on this feed are in Japan, and they said they're waiting on you, bro. They said, my boy Supreme said, Japan is paradise, man. I feel you. Come on, get into it.
I mean, it's not, but it's paradise.
yeah. Thanks. I want you.
I hope you're saying that from a perspective of someone who's actually lived there before. Like, if you've lived there before and, you know, you understand it.
No, he's here now. He's here now.
Okay, then he gets it. He's not. Yeah.
Yeah, he knows he knows the
He
ins
knows.
out, but what he means
He
is
knows.
like
Yes. I mean, that's why I want to move back. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's an
bro.
amazing place. I actually had it easy because my granddad worked for the embassy. He was actually my granddad was there when I was there, so I moved in with him
wow.
because he already had a house like that the embassy provided him with, and yeah, I moved in with him and we just lived together. So I was still supported. I wasn't like fully like independent on my own, but it was a
Yeah.
taste of, I can be whoever I want to be. No one knows me. Let me, create my story kind of thing. But this time, since he's retired and he's left Japan, um, I'll be alone this time. So hopefully this chapter will still be as fun as last time. Because last time I got just the best bits of it. But, this time I might be working full time. I have rent to pay. And,
Oh yeah,
so
you're gonna learn. You're gonna
yeah.
learn today, boy.
Yeah.
You're gonna learn real quick when you get into the bills and the paying and everything when you're on.
Mhm.
You can be like, man, this place is. But actually, I think it's a good time to come back because with COVID, Japan is attempting to streamline a lot of the things they used to like make very difficult. Just like
Oh, like with all the paperwork.
yeah, all the
Yeah,
paperwork stuff, bro.
yeah.
Like you just be like, what? I gotta stamp this with this little red dot, this Honko stamp mess.
Hanko, I'm gonna go shit myself.
So now they're
Yeah.
attempting to. So by the time you make it, bro, it might.
Thank you, carpevegan.com. Wait, is it .com? Thank you for the kind comment. I appreciate you.
Yeah, man. But
Why I
with that
can't
being
see anymore?
with that being said, man, I think we should go ahead and wrap it up, man. Y'all got any shout outs? Richard, you got any shout outs, brothers? I just shout out your socials. I can't talk worse shit. Socials.
Socials.
Yeah, shout out your
No,
socials.
yeah, just
Yeah.
check me out, man. Richardo TV. I'll be on. You'll link them on in the description probably. But
No doubt.
I just want to shout out all the supporters, man. I want to shout out everyone who's helped me, who's given me a platform, basically. Because without you guys actually, coming to my page and showing love and support, I wouldn't have a platform at all. So, giving me faith in my work and the kind messages, just everyone. I want to shout out Baguette. My sexy Baguette. You know who you are. I also want to shout out Leng One. You know who you are. These are just cute nicknames I give my my friends.
Okay.
And yeah, Josh in Japan, Jay, the Australian hentai half Japanese guy. There's so many more. There's so many more, but you know who you are. You know who you are. So thank you, everyone.
Nah, man, we really thank you and appreciate you for coming on, man. And of course, we wish y'all the best, man. I'm supporting you. I'm pushing for you. I'm looking for more shit to brighten up my day and laugh at through your page.
Oh, wait,
we'll definitely
Yasuke Jr. and Lionel versus Live TV. Okay, I'm done.
Hold on, wait a minute. I got one more time.
Bro, but if I forgot them, then it's game over. Like I've lost friends. So
yeah,
you know
man.
what I mean? It's one of those ones, the sticky ones where
Yeah, man. But everybody, like, man, yeah, much love, man. You got it. Seems like you got a beautiful soul, beautiful personality, bro. It was great interviewing with you today. If everybody can follow our socials, and you can see them scrolling there at the bottom. But if you cannot, I'm Ashley at Ashley_BU number 4 EVER. Also follow the podcast page if you can, which is BU_crew forever. And Lavelle, you want to go ahead and
oh yeah, man, you guys have followed me at Mr_Lovely_day. And I want to give a shout out to my boy Mr. Supreme for being on here. He's one of the hottest artists in Tokyo.
Yeah, thanks
right
for
now.
coming into
Pretty
the
much in the
live,
world right now, yo. He got music out there on iTunes. Holla at him, Supreme. He in Tokyo, and you guys holla at him if you into music and you trying to get into it. Yo, Richard, thank you for being on here, man. It's a pleasure to talk to you.
Having me.
And like
Blessings.
Ash said, I really look forward to seeing more. When you get out here, man, please hit me up. We can link up.
Of course,
I can
100%, man.
introduce you to a lot of people that maybe you might not know, but everybody knows you though. So hey,
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I can't wait to be back. I just need to finish. I need to just make sure I graduate this last year with no delays. So I'm gonna get on my coursework right now and just get this uni thing done, and then I'll be on my way, man.
That's a bet, man. But with
Yeah,
that being said, man, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this shit up. So, hey,
cool.
wherever you at in the world, morning and the night, remember to always be you. And we out of this motherfucker. Peace.
Okay, bye.